Welcome to the Off to Class training program on ESL for adult learners. I'm Grace, and in this first module, we'll explore key principles of adult learning and the Off to Class resources that can support your adult learners. By the end of this module, you will understand key principles for teaching adult ESL learners, learn how Off to Class supports these principles, and discover relevant off-to-class resources for adult ESL learners. Let's take a moment to review some key principles. The principles listed here are widely recognized in educational theory, and understanding them will help us understand how adults learn best and how to best utilize our off-to-class resources. First, adults value autonomy and tend to take responsibility for their own learning. They want to be seen and treated as capable and self-directed. Second, adults bring a wealth of experience to the learning environment. This lived experience should be acknowledged and leveraged in the learning process. Third, adults want to learn things that are relevant to their real-life situations. Less theory, more practice. Fourth, adults are practical and problem-centered in their orientation to learning. They want to apply what they're learning to immediate practical situations. Fifth, while adults do respond to external motivators, like grades, they are more motivated by internal factors like self-esteem and quality of life. Lastly, adults need to know why they are learning something. They want to understand the relevance of the material to their lives or goals. So what does that mean for us? First of all, give adult learners autonomy in the learning process. Ask questions to understand their goals and aspirations. You can use our downloadable handout for this module to help. Allow students to choose topics for projects or presentations. And encourage self-evaluation and reflection on their learning progress at regular intervals. Next, introduce activities that draw on their lived experience. Create opportunities for students to share their expertise. Use real-life scenarios that relate to students' backgrounds. And encourage students to make connections between new concepts and their prior knowledge. For example, in a lesson about giving instructions, you can create opportunities for students to share their areas of expertise by asking students to teach the class how to do something they're skilled at, like a recipe from their home country or a job-related task. You'll also want to make sure that you focus on relevant topics and real-life applications. Draw out lesson topics that align with students' daily lives. Incorporate authentic materials like job applications, news articles, or utility bills that coincide with lesson themes. Practice language in context through role plays of real-life situations. For example, for a unit on health, bring in actual medical forms or prescription labels. Have students practice filling out the forms and interpreting the labels. Next, always explain the purpose behind activities and lessons. Clearly state the learning objectives of a lesson at the beginning of each lesson. As a hint, these are always in the teacher's notes. Discuss how each activity contributes to language acquisition, and help students see the connection between classroom learning and real-world application. As an example, before a grammar lesson on the past tense, you might explain, "Today we're learning about past tense verbs. This will help you talk about your previous work experience in job interviews. Last but not least, foster a collaborative, respectful learning environment. Establish ground rules for respectful communication. Keep cultural differences in mind, including gender roles and authority structures. Create opportunities for peer teaching and group work, and make sure you validate and incorporate diverse perspectives and experiences. Acknowledge the wealth of life experience adult learners bring. Let's take a look at off-to-class resources that you can use for adult ESL. First, let's take a look at the step-by-step curriculum. The step-by-step curriculum offers a level-based, systematic approach to language development, ranging from lessons for newcomers all the way up to advanced level learners. It's great for building foundational skills, offering comprehensive coverage of all language domains: grammar, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Lessons include real-world scenarios such as daily routines, work, relationships, and travel at each level. Every lesson is accompanied by a homework assignment, and every unit has an assessment called a unit check. Both of these tools are great for independent practice and assessing mastery. Other areas of the lesson library that work well for adult learners are reading activities and speaking activities. These are perfect both for adult beginners and for more advanced learners. These activities focus on essential everyday language and build confidence in practical situations. Each reading lesson stands alone and focuses on building practical, high-frequency vocabulary and reading comprehension skills using engaging real-world topics. These lessons range from the absolute beginner level in the Reading for Newcomers category to more advanced levels in the Reading Activities category. Speaking activities are also standalone lessons on a wide variety of interesting real-world topics. These lessons build interpersonal communication skills as well as confidence in sharing personal opinions and viewpoints. It's worth noting here that the homework for speaking activities has a unique recording feature that allows students to record responses to each prompt. This is great for asynchronous student practice. As the teacher, you can then listen to their recordings and offer feedback in the platform. Finally, the Business English curriculum in Off-to-Class is ideal for work-focused adult learners. It covers professional vocabulary and situations and helps adults achieve career-related language goals. Some of the topics include job roles and responsibilities, vocabulary for business, including technology, travel, networking, and meetings, cultural awareness in the workplace, and navigating workplace problems and resolving conflict. Off-to-Class provides a wealth of resources tailored to adult ESL learners that help you apply adult learning principles in your classroom. As you select lessons from the lesson library, remember, involve adult learners in the learning process. Align your instruction with their learning goals. Explain the purpose behind lessons and activities. Focus on immediately relevant topics, and look for opportunities for real-life applications. Until next time, happy teaching!